Welcome to a podcast about degustation, flavors, and textures. We are going to taste the English language in different accents, and we have asked anonymous people to read some sentences in various styles, and we sit here ready to give our honest and expert opinion about how rich and wonderful their voice sounds. With me, I have Yannis, whose ear is attuned to Dutch, French, and Portuguese. What do you know? We also have Morgan, whose ear is attuned to Swahili, Norwegian, and German. We have Miles, who's the only native English speaker with the handicap of Australian accent. We forgive you for that. And we have myself, Angelo, with a tuned ear for Spanish, Polish, and Danish. Yannis, this podcast is called Guess Who? And it was your idea. What should we expect from it?
So, as we are an international community all speaking English, we know how many different flavors of English there exist in this place. And now that we're at the end of this term, I thought it would be fun actually to see if we can sort of guess where each flavor originates from, and also maybe guess who is the person behind the voice.
Yes, so we will give some time to discuss the language and then to make our guess. Or we will challenge one person to make the first guess, right?
Yes.
It might be stressful. I've listened to some of them and I have no idea who they are. So we'll do our best.
That's promising.
Yes. You guys excited? You guys feel like experts in languages after 6 months of IPC?
Yeah. I think I'm ready to go.
I think people's voices are pretty recognizable. It shouldn't be too hard, I think.
Okay, the confidence.
Wow.
The confidence.
Everyone
All
sounds
right,
different.
all right. We will now start with our first example, and we have no idea what style it comes in. I'm gonna click randomly, and we're gonna listen.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and I kill meat and you don't think you're good enough. Like when have to always be extraordinary, but someone were always going to wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. You can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You want to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be a man. You have to be a lead, but you can't scare other people as idea. You're supposed to love being a mother, but I don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a current woman, but also always be looking at other people.
So, it was a bit long, this one, but of course, to fully taste an accent, we have to listen a bit to the person speaking. So, thoughts?
Confident. Yes.
Yeah, you felt confidence in this voice.
It's not the most fluent of English, I would say, but despite the person being aware of that, I think they just went for it.
Yes. And would you say that actually the chosen sentence was challenging?
I would say yes.
I think so. I think for them it was like putting the words together, because this is what you have to read. But I think they are confident enough to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't have the musicality in it, kind of. They have the flow in the words. But yeah, they are confident enough.
Yeah. And Miles, do you diagnose which accent of English are we experiencing?
To me, at least, it sounded quite French or Belgian.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the area. I have maybe a guess of who it was, but
Yeah. We will hold on with the guesses just for a moment. French or Belgium? That's kind of what's on the table. Would you guys agree with that?
as a country, right? Where it originates from, like where this person originates from. 'Cause-
Yeah, so this English sounds French, right?
Yes.
And how does that make you feel? Is it a warm language? Is it a cold language?
I feel it's a warm language. It's like a hard-on language, which is like has specific things that you can really notice. Yes, this comes from a specific region in the European area, which is French or Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the French part of Belgium,
Really?
of course.
Yeah.
Because,
You would detect that.
well, yeah, I'm from the Flemish part of Belgium, of course. And the English of Flemish-speaking people, which is a lot more like Dutch-speaking people's English, it's completely different from French-speaking people. So I would actually, in my opinion, say this is French English.
Yeah. And I hope the confidence comes a bit from being at IPC for 6 months and everyone speaks some version of English that is not like perfect. So make all the mistakes you want to make. It's fine, you know. Do you recognize where this speech is from?
No.
So this is only a part of a longer monologue from a movie. It's a movie quote. Which movie?
Something about feminist ideas.
Is there any movie from last summer about? Yeah.
Okay.
What's what
Miles,
is it?
you go for it.
Is this Barbie?
It is from Barbie. Yes.
Okay.
Funny enough, I haven't checked out Barbie.
You haven't watched Barbie.
No.
Okay, so here you had a little taste. You had a little taste of like one of the monologues about how tough it is to be a woman, all the pressures of society, and
Yes.
all the things you're expected, but you can't openly deal with it or admit it or be like that.
Yeah.
That's also something I wanted to add. This French accent is not really sort of the best when it comes to clarity of English, because I had difficulty understanding quite a lot of the things. For example, also the TH, which we call a diphthong in English. It was pronounced as a T, like a...
Yeah.
It was hard.
So they don't put the tongue between the teeth as often in French, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
Well, maybe another reason why maybe French accent on other languages not making it clear is, isn't it true that French tend to ignore half of the words they speak? They just swallow like half of the word and they just like ignore the end of words, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, like the
So when-
beginning of like...
When they have to read the full word in English, they're like, no, I'm just gonna
Yes.
do like I do in
French.
French. I'm just gonna ignore like this and this and this.
Like when they say this, like this table, or it's like is table.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
pay
We'll
attention.
pay
to
attention. Now, I have a feeling that Miles knows who it is. Therefore, I'm going to challenge Morgan. Morgan, who is it? Whose voice did we just listen to?
Wow. Just on the hot spot. I would say that's Naomi from Belgium.
That is correct. That was Naomi's voice. Confident. Yes. Is that what you thought?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yes. And Janis, you were also pretty sure.
And there's I think she was quite happy maybe to
Okay.
read from this
Okay. Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
because I feel like it complements her in a way.
But
Yeah.
have you ever seen Naomi not happy?
No. No.
She's always in this kind of...
Very energetic.
I-
Barbie Wild, I mean.
She can be quite emotional.
Okay.
She's a quick one to let a tear
okay.
go.
Well,
Yes.
but she, in general, I see her as like energetic and happy and uplifting. So I thought the speech would be interesting to hear in her voice. Yes, let's do another one.
Yes.
Would you say this was an easy one to start, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to try something different.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock-knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize. A dyslexic man walks into a bar. What did Blackbeard say when he turned 80? "Aye, matey."
Okay.
Wow.
So we got a bit of a dry humor. Does this make it up to like a dad jokes level, or There's a difference between dry jokes or dead jokes.
It's a really dry joke. It's like
Hey, there are so many good ones on the internet. This is a person I
software.
recorded, and I chose the ones that I thought, well, these jokes they're better than average dry jokes. I think. Come on.
I don't know if it was the joke itself, but I felt like the confidence improved. There was 3 jokes, right? And the last one, I could feel more confidence than the other ones, right? The last one was about the black beard.
Yeah.
No.
We practiced a few times.
Yeah. But what do you guys think of clarity?
I feel they speak English as well enough as they know it, as confident as they can do it. The clarity is not 100%, but if you listen keenly and carefully, you can get the words slowly. But to clarity, I would say a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when people struggle with, it's not clear to me exactly what you said, sometimes it's because you are from very different languages to start from.
Yes.
And therefore, like if it was someone with a Portuguese background and speaking in English with a Portuguese background, I would relate to those kind of mistakes much better.
Yeah.
So maybe this person is very far away from your languages.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Miles?
Yeah, I think that definitely makes a difference. I think with the clarity, the accent with certain sounds and consonants, like the L sounding like an R. I think that points to a certain region.
Okay. Do you want to give it a guess?
I don't know who the person is, but
No. The region.
it sounds Southeast Asia, maybe Japan or Korea.
Okay. So we are aiming for an Asian accent. Maybe Japan or Korea.
Yeah.
Yes?
Probably.
I'm gonna go. My guess would be Japan. What do you feel, Morgan?
I feel Korea.
Korea. Okay.
Yes.
So we're not in agreement, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's funny because sometimes jokes have a timing and have
Yeah.
and when it comes to like the temperature of the voice, it changes if the joke is supposed to be very dry or if you're supposed to, like in this case, speak like Blackbeard and
Black. Yeah.
hey matey. It changes the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So a dyslexic walks into a bra that feels very cold. He's like, what? But then the Blackbeard one seems very warm and like hilarious, and even the voice went up in pitch and made it.
When I was picking out the different dry jokes, I was worrying if indeed it was read in a way that the joke would be funny.
Yeah.
And
It's always
I
a
think
risk.
only on indeed like the bra, which like she had like a little bit of a difficulty with the bra. Bra.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a certain Asian English accent that makes it a little more tricky because bra. What was the first joke?
Did you hear about the man who invented the knock-knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize.
Nobel. Knock.
I think all
Nobel.
of them went over my head. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I think we're all just a bit in shock. We're adapting to the accent, and then of course understanding the joke is like secondary to just appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, knock. Nobel. Good. Giannis, do you want to challenge someone to guess?
Well, let's let Miles have a go.
Oh god. I'm gonna guess. To me, they sound quite Japanese. Maybe this is like a horrific guess, but I'm just gonna guess. Maybe Saya. I feel like she has more confidence.
Saya? It's not Saya.
It's not Saya.
It's not Saya.
It's up to me and you, Morgan. Who could it be?
So are we settling on Japanese voice?
I don't know. For you, it would
That's
be
true, I think.
A Korean
Korean.
rice. I would think Naya.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because she has this way she expresses herself, which is out there, and I think it's Naya.
It's not Naya.
Okay.
Angelo?
I'm a complete blank. Honestly, now I don't know if it's Japanese or Korean. Maybe it's not even Japanese and Korean. I'm just a complete blank here. So I pass.
Okay.
Tell us, Yanis.
I
Reveal.
thought this wouldn't be easy. This was G1.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Well-
kind of I hate that. I think with
But it's
like,
Korean.
mannerisms, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
she talks.
Yeah. So now with that in mind,
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize.
I guess I recognize it.
Yeah.
But you got it. You beat us.
Yeah.
We thought we were experts. And
1-0.
Yes.
No, wait, we got points for Naomi already.
Okay. I sense the next one is going to be very challenging,
God.
gentlemen. So here we go.
Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please.
Okay, I think I know this.
Short and sweet. I'm even gonna give it one more go
Yes,
because
please.
Giannis is kind of
I
concentrating at
I
full.
think I recognize the voice actually, but the what she
Get
said.
your facts first, then you can distort them as you please.
Okay.
Well,
Get your facts first, then you can
Distort them as you wish.
disturb them as you wish.
Distort them as you wish.
Distort them as you wish.
Yes.
I think the sentence, it's some sort of quote,
Yes.
and it implies confidence. Whoever
Yeah.
says it has experience and maybe has experience with speaking or public speaking or whatever.
Yes.
So it is also said in a bit of confident way, no?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, it has like if you're a bit familiar with chords, musical chords, then I would say this is sort of a minor
Oh, okay.
chord.
Okay.
So you're saying it has some musicality in it, flow and everything.
Yes, but you have major and minor, and minors tends to be a little more sort of
Sad or
Yeah,
like,
like
the
a-
feelings are a little colder or
a little
okay.
sort of sad tonality or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, Naome would sound maybe major
Yes,
chords,
I
much
would
more
say
like
so.
da 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 da. Okay. We are very good at pretending to be experts in this. Am I right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes.
So what country are we talking about? That's the question.
I will go with Japan.
Yes, I support that. But the question is, we have so many Japanese students. It could be anyone.
I think I immediately recognize
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
one person because the voice of this Japanese person is quite distinguishable. I think.
Okay,
It's a bit of
Morgan,
a unique voice.
you choose who you wanna.
Yes. For me, I would like to challenge Angelo.
Me? No, I don't even know your names anymore. I'm totally lost in this.
One
I know
Japanese.
it's not Naomi. Who could it be? Moegi? No, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you wanna go?
Well, I'm surprised because with the previous one, so my audio fragment, you said Saya.
No, he
No, I
said
said Saya.
You said
but yeah.
Saya. All right,
Right.
because this is Saya.
Yeah.
This is Saya.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys are good. But what gives it away? What is it that, sounds like Saya?
Can you give us another listen?
Yes. Because it is, I don't know, it is difficult. It's also short, right? It's not like a longer, easy to...
Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please.
Everything makes it Saya.
Everything. Oh my goodness.
There's a way she says words, especially ST words.
Yes.
As
That is
someone who's been studying Saya for years, listening, careful.
No, there's just a way she says some words, and it's just Saya way of saying words.
Okay.
But it's also the little breaks in between words.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. If you pay attention, and then there's like sort of start and stop.
Okay.
To it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you take this one home. And now for something completely different.
Some extremely precious and rare behavior was discovered in a place nobody expected, northeast Denmark. Here, civilization has pushed the natural world into little square spaces known as rooms. The inhabitants of these so-called rooms are a non-native and invasive species called the IPCers.
Is that somebody doing a David Attenborough impression?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the natural accent?
Okay, so
I asked them to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so this was another of Janne's recordings.
Yes.
What is going on here? Sounds like Janne set up a trap
Yeah.
for the group of experts.
It's like a trick question. And they feel, I mean, they're very confident. I feel like it's a native English speaker for sure.
But a native English speaker who's not British.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a trap.
Like, it's
it
not
does
the
feel like a
first
fake
language, I
English
think.
accent, yeah.
So where do you think
Okay.
the person is from?
Maybe America, somewhere. around
I think south of Europe, probably.
Okay, so
Yes.
Americans out of Europe, that's complete. We're aiming completely different. So what makes you feel like that?
What makes me think south of Europe is that their way of saying things is they have like an emphasis on each word they say. Like they hit home with every word, like how they're describing the nature documentary. It's like, yes, this is it, and not in a way that their words get lost. They
Okay.
have to specify what they're saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
so,
why I think they're
so
really
there's a
from.
certain musicality in the way they speak that betrays,
Yes.
this is Europeans from the south.
Yes.
They speak like they're hot.
Yeah.
They're warm.
For burnt out.
Okay. So we exclude all the Swedish, Danish, Norwegians.
No, they're all out.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Janus, do you want to challenge someone to make the final guess?
Well, let's go with Miles. Give it a go first.
Okay, I have an idea. Could be wrong, but I think it might be Alex from the US.
Alex, US/Spain.
Alex, no, just US.
From the US. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm,
We do have
yeah,
two
so-
Alexes. One
Yeah.
who lived in the US and one
Yes.
who's Spanish from US
Yes.
family.
Yeah. It's not Alex. No, it's not
And
Alex.
Morgan.
Morgan.
I think it's Angelo.
Okay.
Yes.
Angelo, you want to have a
Guilty
guess?
as charged.
Oh, wow. I did not see that at all.
I was like, this is going to be pretty obvious. I'm telling you, Yanis, we shouldn't do this. But we still tricked Miles.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to have a go first.
Yeah.
Like if you pay attention to that to the entrance, you will
Yeah.
immediately sense me making an effort. Like, how does David Attenborough? I'm not old enough for this, but I'm gonna try. And there's a little bit of attempt.
Some extremely precious and rare behavior was discovered in a place nobody expected.
Well,
But also, I think you can hear it because you have a very sort of strong American R. I
okay,
feel.
yeah.
Like, for example, the last word is IPCers. And I wondered if you would be able to have slip a British R into that, which would make it IPCers.
Yeah. The
And
problem.
It still sounds like IPCers.
I definitely grew up with more gangster American movies instead of like Monty Python and
Yeah.
they taught me the wrong version of
Yeah.
English. Yes, we move on because we have a few more. Let's hear. This is also a short one, so it's an easy challenge. Let's go.
Sells seashells at the seashore.
Ooh.
Okay, sounds like something is missing. I'm gonna play it one more time because it's short, but
Sells seashells at the seashore.
okay. This sounds like a familiar tongue twister. Am I right?
It's missing the she.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Maybe he sells seashells.
Or maybe he or they sell seashells by the seashore. Okay,
They,
it's
maybe.
leaving it on purpose open because it's very inclusive like that. Leaves the mystery. But I don't know. Who could it be?
Completely lost.
You completely lost? Okay, let's just give it one more time because it's so short we can actually...
I have an idea.
You have an idea?
Sells seashells at the seashore.
Yes.
Okay. I'm blank.
But it's a native English speaker.
Aha.
Do we agree on
so
that?
as well, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I think the
There's
way-
confidence, there's clarity, there's...
Whoa,
It's also because...
Talking about confidence, we did it 7 times
Okay.
with a native speaker
Okay.
before they could get it right.
Okay.
Because it is a tongue twister. And,
Yes.
and a tongue twister is meant to be difficult for native speakers, right?
Yes.
So, of course, non-native speakers, it would be even
Was.
worse.
Yeah.
So 7 times, which means that this is a very refined version, right, in terms
Yeah.
of clarity and so on. But why so many repetitions? Because they were laughing, or because we just didn't understand, or
No, they got tongue twisted.
okay, so
Literally, they got
yeah,
tongue
yeah.
twisted.
Oh, that would have been nice to hear. I would
which is
like
how
to
many
hear that.
non-native speakers feel
Yeah.
by attempting to simply say normal things.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
Do we want to have a go at the tongue twister? Each of us.
As
What was
in,
it?
like another type of tongue
She sells seashells on the shore?
by
At
the seashore.
The seashore.
By the seashore.
Yeah.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
I'm gonna say they sell seashells by the seashore, but then of course they is not very tongue twisty.
Yeah, no. It's too easy.
She sells seashells at the seashore.
Okay, that was not bad.
It's not bad. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
By Bondi Beach. Okay. So, country accent. Is it a kind of a American, U.S. kind of a native?
I want to say yes, but I also got that wrong last time. But I think, especially the way they said shore, like not in that way. That's very Australian, but the way they said it sounded very American.
Okay. Okay. So,
Can I have a guess?
Yeah, I'm not.
Morgan.
Yeah.
'Cause-
You can have the go first.
Miles said Saya one time too fast, too early. And I think he said Alex, American Alex, one time too early too. I think this is American Alex.
Oh no, it's not Alex.
Really?
Yes.
It's not Alex.
Yes.
Did
What do
you
you think?
did you pick someone who would be extremely difficult to guess because we are not so used to listening to them?
Exactly.
Oh,
Can we have
It's
another listen?
somebody out of your box.
yes. Well,
Can we have another listen?
yes, yes. I think Morgan really is setting a trap here.
Sells seashells at the seashore.
Oh, it does sound like Alex.
Ah, is it?
What do you think, Miles?
Yeah.
We know it's not Alex.
We
Yes,
know
it's not Alex.
God, oh God. My mind's completely blanking. I think I don't.
Oh my God. To the hosts?
Adrian.
Oh, finally. Somebody
Yes.
gets right.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's Adrian.
Okay. But I don't know where Adrian is from, but the US for sure. I don't
Yes.
know exactly which. Because, of course, in the US, there's like a lot of versions of English that can give it a better clue. But time is running. Let's see if we can get through a few more. Here's something unusual.
Oh, one of my phobias. I have always been very scared of going to the dentist. Really, last time I took a sedative, then went to the dentist. I was so high, he told me to sit down and open up. So I told him I always have a crush on one of my cousins, Catalina. She was the most beautiful person in school.
Okay. How do you feel about this confession?
Ah, it's a confession. Yes.
It's a dry way of saying the confession.
It was a little bit like a confession, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you feel confidence in this English accent?
A bit of acting in this.
You think it's one of those cases where someone is trying to trap you into a different accent from their natural.
Yeah, they really seem into character with what they were doing at that moment. Like, my nephew, my niece, my cousin, like, they were really into character, doing whatever they were doing at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very musical tone, I think, to the way they said it. It was very, like, energetic in a way.
It sounded like the introduction to a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say
let's watch that fairy tale.
a Spanish fairy tale.
Yes. So we have a Spanish tones, Spanish flavors, right? I put some more like Mexican style background music to trick you, right? But And would you say Spanish is a warm language or a cold language? How would you describe Spanish?
I feel it's a warm language with lots of musicality, ups and downs, and like people have a different way of expressing themselves. They can seem they're arguing, but they're not arguing. They're having fun.
It's very dynamic.
Yeah.
They go high and low and
Yeah.
Whenever I hear Spanish, I can just feel the sun on my skin.
You feel what? The sound on your skin?
The sun on my skin.
Okay, it warms you up.
Yes.
So it's a warm language.
It's just hard to picture Spanish without seeing a sun and feeling cold, or Spanish in the snow. No, that doesn't work for me.
Okay. Is anyone feeling confident about their guess?
I have, I think, an idea.
Okay. Miles, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make the right guess. Who is it?
I'm going to say Alex from Spain. He's very dramatic, and he kind of does that sometimes.
Okay. Damn, I was hoping I would trick you because Alex from Spain does not speak with Spanish accent, which it betrays many Spanish kind of they cannot get rid of their accent, right? But Alex is unique because he grew up with American parents, right? But I asked him specifically, can you like fake strong Spanish accent? And he was like, of course, it's in my blood. So it was Alex from Spain.
Yeah, that was
quite interesting. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have a phobia for dentists. I don't know if this is a thing for many people. But be careful because, you might open up to the dentist about things you don't want to, and you'll regret later.
Okay, now I get it.
Oh, now you get it. Okay. Yes. Well, yes, let's, I think this is something you hear frequently.
Næste station, Helsinge, Snækkesteng, Spager, Himmelbæk, Louisiana, Nibo, Kokkedal, Rundstenkist, Bebæk, Skrotsborg, Klampenborg, Hildegøb, Østerborg, Ørebro, København.
Yes. It's something we hear quite often, no?
That's somebody at the school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of us. One of us.
Nailed those pronunciations.
Yeah.
Okay. That is debatable. That is debatable.
That person had the fun of a lifetime recording this.
Okay. So, we are of course listening to the announcer of some train coming from Helsingør towards Copenhagen.
Yes.
Guiding us through each station. Yeah. So I guess it's attempting Danish accent with English with Danish accent.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how in English you would pronounce those locations. But at the same time, I think they were trying to pronounce it as they are pronounced correctly.
In Danish, yeah.
Yeah. And did they succeed?
In a way, yes. Like Spager, Snækkesteng, like they're just as Danish, as close to Danish as a non-native would get.
Yeah, because if you literally read Spager, you would read like Spager.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But there was a few stations where, like Kokkedal.
Yeah.
I think they said it Kokkedal, which betrays that that's not how Danes say it, right? Or Rungstelkunst, and I think they read Rungstelkinst. Or it's just small details that shows they are not Danish for sure.
Yeah.
But other things. What do you think of Danish accent while speaking English? How does that sound? Does that sound like a warm language?
I don't think it's as warm as it's more like kind of like
I don't know what that means.
it's more like kind of cold, but in a killer kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, having been at IPC now for 6 months, I can clearly distinguish when a Danish person is speaking English. It's just very hard. It's certain sounds, and I think my reference is Thomas. Thomas's English is very Danish to me.
Yeah. And it's also because he's one of the newest staff members, Danish staff members. So he hasn't been at IPC long enough to kind of neutralize that. So, but yeah. I think what characterizes some languages as warm is that they speak very open and they enunciate very clearly. And I think Danish suffers from speaking with a potato in your mouth, right? So it's not clear. It's a bit like ho 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 ho, and therefore maybe it's not as warm as Spanish or Italian. You enunciate, but it is an interesting language. Who could it be?
Wow. When I just had Neva, I got lost.
You got lost?
When I had Neva, because I was like, who speaks Danish that good? Yeah.
I think those first like 3 or 4 stations are the easy ones to remember. It's the other ones that you kind of get lost.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play a little bit the beginning so we can kind of hear the voice one more time before the final guess.
Næste station, Helsinge, Snækkesteng, Spager, Himmelbæk, Louisiana, Niveau, Coquetal, Rundstedt-Kies.
The funny thing is, I think if you listen to Louisiana, because that is not a Danish word. It doesn't really fit English. I think, of course, I know who it is.
Yes.
I think you can recognize the voice.
Yes, I think there was a way of saying. For me, it was how they said station. So in Danish, station, but they said I don't know how they said it, but they said it in a way that I kind of like sounds like European and sounds like South European to me, because that's how I would say it in Portuguese.
Do you want to have a guess?
Yes, I'm going to say pau.
Does anyone have any objections?
To pau.
Do you object to pau?
I would think the other Alex from US, because he has a strong Danish accent, but at the same time it's quite soft.
Okay, interesting.
It's Pau though.
Oh wow!
It's who?
It's Pau.
Pau. It's Pau.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
So Louisiana, it's the type of word that would sound very comfortable for a Spanish speaker.
Oh yeah.
And station, and Danish station. He says it. I don't know. He says something that kind of gives it away.
Snækkesteng,
No, wait.
Helsinge. Næste station, Helsinge.
Station.
Snækkesteng.
That sounds Spanish to me. Nesta estación. Ah, that's Spanish. Pau gave it away. Yes.
But I overheard him I think it was in the dining hall. He was talking with other people, saying how funny it is to sort of go over the different stops on the line, Helsinger, Copenhagen, and they were trying to imitate this.
Okay.
And it was so funny that I thought I have to record this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think Pau is one of those people that has fun with languages, right? He just wants to speak and, like us, like taste the texture of a language. Yes. I don't know if we went through most of them. I think I have one that we haven't heard.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
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 Amen. Wow.
Well, thoughts?
I would say English is not the first language.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
I would say this person actually speaks English on a regular basis in their life.
Wow.
Maybe it's not the first language. I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying
They
it sounds to me like someone who uses English more frequent than many others. I don't know why I get that feeling.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think they're confident enough in their language.
Definitely.
Yes. But how they're saying some words like debtors, and a native English speaker will say debtors, but they're saying debtors. Like this tiny small things make the difference to show they're not having it as their native language.
Miles, is it the clarity of how they speak? Does it give it away that they're non-native, or could it be just a very special accent?
I think they feel very, very non-native. I agree with Morgan. I think it's a lot of the way they pronounce parts of certain words that gives it away.
Okay. And the musicality, from where in the world is this person? Not the Americas.
Yes.
No. And not Asia.
No.
So we're talking either Europe, Africa. What are we talking about?
Oh. Africa is a tricky one.
Yes, it is.
Oh. Because come to think of it, the person I would think would say it would not say it due to religious reasons. Yeah.
Cool.
It was actually the beginning that kind of made me feel, sounds like someone who uses English in Africa, but maybe it's not their first language, but it sounds to me. Yeah? Let's just hear the beginning just one more time and keep this in mind. I don't know, maybe I'm totally wrong.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be the name. The kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
I don't know. I got that feeling. Maybe I'm off. Yes, so country accent. Is it clear? Are we aiming for a region in the world?
If it's a region in the world and you dispute Asia and Americas,
yes,
then I would think of a country close to Africa, Spain.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I see where you're going.
Because there's a way they say the words, in as much as it's almost Spanish, it has like an effect of immigrant in it.
Could it be a North African country with a lot of European influence?
Oh, wow.
That's also has also a possibility.
Yes, but I'm not falling for the trap.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the trap was set by Yanis. It was not by me. I'm also clueless here.
Yes.
But Yanis, you can challenge someone, because I think we're not fully confident on where this accent is from.
I'm very curious about Morgan's guess.
Okay.
I would say Lucia.
Okay.
Yes.
What would you say?
No. Please, it is Lucia or not? Because then I'll make my horrendous guess after that.
Miles, any goes?
This might be like a really foolish thing to say, but I don't want to rule out Asia. I think this sounds...
Okay.
Yeah,
You're in your right
Wait.
to challenge.
Because I also think so. It sounds a little Asian.
Oh, wow.
But it's not Asian.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not
Oh,
Asian.
wow.
No.
Smiling a bit
Yes.
too much when we rule
It's
it
not
out.
Lucia.
It's not Lucia.
No. I think you're close.
Yeah, I was gonna say Morocco as my. It was drawing me to that,
Okay.
North Africa. But
I'm
you
not
don't
confident
agree.
with
You
the...
don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree because of the confidence and the clarity in the words and what they said. Yes.
In Morocco, they also speak French, right?
Yes.
And that in French, I don't know why, but it's like wine. It stains and it's really hard to get rid of. Am I right?
Yes.
It always affects your English final. So maybe you're right. Maybe yes. Yes, Janis, we're not brave enough to.
I think this person will be very happy that you say that this is a confident speaking person, and that they might even use English in at home.
Okay.
Because it's a person that has studied a lot of English while being here, which is Kautar.
Really?
Yes.
No.
I was on
Please
to her.
play up
I was
there.
on to her.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry. It was playing, but the volume was down.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be the name. The kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt, as we forgive our debtors.
Okay.
Wow.
So, yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah, there's always a certain pronouncing of some words that kind of says, it's not a native speaker, but it's someone who has put the effort, put the work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wondered if I would have guessed it, if I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part is I've spoken with Kauta a lot of times, and it's rare for me to hear this fluency.
Yes.
That's why I was against it. And she's really good now compared to the start. But this is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, the first time she read it, it was not so fluent, so I was a bit dreading, like when she would record it. But then over time, it just got more and more fluent, and I was actually also like positively surprised that I thought, wow, this sounds really good.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this session, I think we went through all the list of challenges. Did we learn anything? Are we a little more in tune with new languages and new approaches to speaking English?
Yeah, but I think I would say don't judge the book by its cover too.
Okay.
Yeah, you not only need to know the person, but also have to be open-minded to get how and the different perspectives on how people speak. Because, like for instance, the Spanish or person who spoke in Danish threw me off completely.
Yeah. That's interesting.
The Moroccan who speaks English threw me off completely. So yeah.
And I think Spanish Alex once said that he has a different personality if he speaks in Spanish than when he speaks in English. And I think this is true, right? Everyone is kind of like a different version of themselves speaking in English. They're like careful. They're trying to do their best to sound clear and enunciate whatever. But if you let them loose in French or in Italian or in Japanese, I guess they are going to be completely different people. Maybe like extremely funny or extremely quirky, I don't know, like unique, which we will never meet those people unless you learn those languages yourself.
Yes.
That's a nice thought. Also, it's always been interesting to me because there seem to be people who are really good at learning a language, but it's very hard for them to own a certain accent. And then some people get an accent straight away.
Yeah.
It's like they learn a new language, but immediately they pick up the accent with it.
Yeah. And I would say, I mean, do you think I have like Portuguese accent while I speak English? Is that very obvious? Or you don't know what Portuguese accent sounds like?
Personally, I would say accent is more South European. Like, it's more melodical in a way, and more, not clarity, but more warm and kind of outspoken in a way. Yeah.
Because I would say that by being in a multicultural school for so many years, I've fixed my accent. I've tried to make it neutral, so I can be understood by as many students as possible. But when I spend 1 week in Portugal, I feel like I ruin everything. And, because my family speaks in English, we go there and everyone speaks in English, Portuguese style to them. And then I find myself speaking this horrible Portuguese English that is not myself, but it's just under the influence of, my my mother language, and it kind of taints the. It is what it is.
I think it's very American English influenced, though.
Yeah. It's just because I grew up watching those movies.
Yes, there's not a little bit of British or something else.
Yeah. I would never ask for a glass of water. I would just giggle if I give me some water, man. No, okay. So those small things, I would die of thirst before I ask for water or a bottle. Yes, thank you so much for giving your expert advice and guesses. We reached the end of this podcast about tasting different languages and voices and people that we hang out every day and that we are curious to know who they truly are in their own countries and languages. We can only guess. This is the last podcast of the spring 2025. I hope everyone had a good time. Thanks for listening.